Hey, it's Jim Florentine, and I'm back on bass.
Welcome back to another episode of the Jim on Bass Show. For today's very special guest, we have on a friend of the show. He has a new comedy special out called Can't Please Them All. We also have lots to talk about in the rock and roll world. Please welcome the great Jim Florentine. Jim, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, man. How's everything?
Everything's good, and it's good to have you back on the show. And you're out in the wild, right? You're at your son's game right now.
Yeah, yeah. It just happened to be at that time. Yes, I'm watching my kid's game as we're doing this. I could do both.
Is it baseball or
Baseball? Yeah.
Now, do you get loud? Do you heckle, or do you kind of keep it low
Nah,
key?
I keep it low key. I let the other parents do that stuff.
Well, lots have happened since you last came on. You even went through like a beard phase, right? So you're back to clean shaven these days.
Yeah, it's like when I feel like not shaving and I do and don't, I don't know. I just kind of just wing it. Yeah, I don't do any trendy thing like in November. I got to grow a beard. I'll do it the opposite. I'll do it in June.
Well, it's good to see you. Great to catch up with you. And one thing that we got to dive into right away is your new special. It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, you can't please them all. Yeah, it came out about 6 months ago. It was on Amazon Prime for a while, and then wound up putting it on my YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/Jim Florentine Comedy. And you can see both my last specials on there too, Bite the Bullet. So
Yeah, I was able to catch it and thought it was great. And I'm always curious about the specials too, like how they go down exactly, because it looks like you did it at maybe your home club, the Governor's Comedy Club.
yeah, it's in Long Island. It's a great club. You know, the last one was in a theater. It all depends. Sometimes I do like a little theater or I'll do a club. But that's such a great comedy club. It's like, yeah, this is perfect. Let's just do it there. So I don't think the audience really cares. They're just, worried about the jokes. So they don't care where it's shot.
Well, one thing I liked about it, it kind of has almost like a neighborhood kind of vibe. Like you can hear the glasses clanking. It's almost like you're at the real show. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I wanted that, right? That club, they're right on top of you. They're serving drinks, the waitress is in the camera and stuff like that. That's just how, a regular comedy club is. So,
Well, it's noon there, but you're kind of up early watching the game, right? Because I imagine you have some late nights performing.
late on the weekends I do. During the week, not so much.
Gotcha.
I got a kid, so I got to get up with him for school in the morning and stuff too. So
Yeah, how old is he now?
he's 15.
Oh, so he's in the thick of high school, right? Is that
He
sophomore?
just
Or?
got it. No, he's freshman. He just
Nice.
started this year. Yeah.
Well, I do got to ask, are you going to be staying on the East Coast? I know you have some dates there. Are you going to come to the West Coast at all, or?
Hopefully, I don't have anything scheduled right now, but I usually hit San Diego. I was in San Jose last year.
Mm.
Did some stuff there right outside of Oakland. I was there too. So LA, but nothing scheduled right now. But who knows when my agent, gets offers, and then, I love performing on the West Coast.
Yeah, I remember I snuck down to LA for a little trip from the Bay Area and saw you at the Laugh Factory. So I got to see you when you come to town next.
Yeah, the Laugh Factory is kind of like that room's not great.
Mm.
They're kind of like young and PC in there, so that's not really my audience. But
Yeah. Do you like the Hollywood Improv or the Comedy Store? I mean, obviously it's a classic, but
yeah, both of those rooms, I like both of those rooms way better than the Laugh Factory.
yeah.
Yeah, the Hollywood Improv's great too.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite club. So hopefully one day it'll be full circle. I'll see you at the Improv.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, one thing I thought was pretty neat too, since I talked to you last, I was able to interview your old buddy from That Metal Show, Eddie Trunk. I was at the Dio Cancer event. I don't know if you ever come to that or been invited to that.
Haven't been to that, but I know Eddie does it every year.
Yeah, it was a great crowd, fun people to chat with, and kind of made me think too. This kind of similar eras. One thing I like about some of the social media posts you've made lately, you've snuck in there one of my favorite Thin Lizzy songs, "Wild One." So it's
It's
always
a
nice to
great
see
song.
that. Yeah,
So underrated. That should have been a huge hit. Like
yeah,
that should have been a hit in the 70s. That still would be played on classic rock radio now.
yeah. I don't get that one. I mean, it's got everything you need.
Yeah, and Thin Lizzy always had a weird thing with the United States. Whenever they got on a tour, it would get canceled. Some would get sick or something. They always had really bad luck. That's what I heard back in the day. That's why they never really cracked the States.
Mm. Well, it kind of made me wonder too, like when you're performing, doing your shows. I don't know if I've noticed it much with you. Maybe you do, but do you ever like wearing band kind of concert tee shirts on stage, or do you not do that too much?
Usually not. Once in a while I will, but usually not. I just like a regular back t-shirt. I got like four shirts that I wear on stage, t-shirts,
Gotcha.
but usually not a band one.
Well, you've been to some good shows lately, and obviously you were at the Metallica private show. And what exactly was that for? Was that for Sirius or something?
Yeah, Sirius XM is got Metallica's got their own channel now on Sirius
Mm,
XM. So they
gotcha.
were doing like a launch of the channel, especially to announce the channel and stuff like that. And they wound up doing like a show in a tent outside in the Hamptons. And I work on Ozzy's Boneyard on
Mm,
Sirius, so I went out there to cover it, even though I'm not really, I'm just there drinking beers, watching Metallica. So, but
yeah.
it was great. Yeah, it was awesome seeing them like that.
And obviously, a lot of people saw it. You got a selfie with the great Paul McCartney, and no bodyguard or nothing. He was just kind of there solo, or
Just hanging out solo. Yeah,
Mm.
watch the whole Metallica set. Sylvester Stallone watched the whole Metallica set. So, yeah, just them by themselves. It was.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Sylvester Stallone there. I thought he'd be like more like a Frankie Valli kind of show, you know?
Yeah, I know. And him and his wife and his kids hung out and watched the whole show.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Like Paul McCartney, just how he is. Like, isn't it amazing to look at him and to think that he's 80 something years old? I mean, he's in such great shape. It's crazy.
I think he's 82. I know, just hanging at a Metallica show. They played like an hour and 45 minutes. It was loud. It was sweaty in this tent and stuff. Yeah, it was great.
Well, are there any bands out there? Who's a band that you'll pretty much see no matter what? Like every time they come to town, you're probably going to be there. Is there certain bands that kind of stick out for you?
Hmm. Um, I don't think so. Well, AC/DC, but they don't
Mm.
tour that much anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I've seen so many bands so many times. Like Judas Priest is coming to my town in a couple of weeks. I'll go see him, even though I've seen him a million times. It's Halford's the only guy, and Ian Hill, a bass player, left in the lineup. So,
Yeah.
but I'll go see that. But no, there's not really anymore. I've seen all. I liked all the classic older bands. The Sabbaths and the
Mm.
Ozzies and and stuff like that. So they're all getting, not touring anymore, doing so. There's not really a specific band.
Well, did you see AC/DC on their latest tour? Like, how do you feel about it?
I did. I thought it was great. I mean,
Nice.
look, they used to be a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 every time I seen them before. They're about an 8.
Mm.
And I'll take that at their age.
Yeah.
So I've seen them a couple times. They still bring it. It's still a great show. Doing like 23, 24 songs, a great set list,
Wow.
too.
Well, it kind of made me wonder, speaking of like reunion tours and bands, I'm not into them much. I think they're kind of overrated. Are you an Oasis guy? Like, there's so much hype behind them. I just don't get it.
I don't like them. But, they've been away long enough. They're almost like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Not that everyone hated Oasis, but they just, Limp Bizkit went away long enough that they're cool again. And Oasis has gone long enough that people are excited to see him again. But I was never an Oasis fan.
Yeah.
But I was never a huge Beatles fan either. So,
Mm. Yeah, I feel like Oasis kind of has a couple. They have like three, four average songs. I just don't hear that and think, "Oh, this is stadium worthy." That's the only thing for.
yeah.
It's
But,
weird.
like I said, those guys, when they band Stay Away, look at System of Down. System of Downs
Mhm.
sold out 2 nights at MetLife Stadium in Jersey this summer.
Wow.
That's 160,000 tickets they sold because they've been
Yeah.
away that long.
Well, speaking of the Dio event, I got to do a dream interview for me. I got to chat with Tom Morello, and that was really cool. And he orchestrated the whole Ozzy experience, the recent show, and you were there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Tom did a great job with that. Yeah. Wasn't going to miss it. Sabbath's my favorite band of all time, Ozzy. And I was like, man, this is definitely going to be the last show. So I'm going. Well, and it was an unbelievable experience. Best show I've ever been to.
Made me wonder too, like, what were your thoughts on Youngblood there?
I didn't know who he was. I saw
Yeah,
him the day before because I was at rehearsals doing interviews. I thought he was like some actor,
yeah.
walking around. I'm like, who's this dude with no shirt on walking around? And then I saw him in rehearsals do changes, and I
Mm,
couldn't believe it. And they're like, oh yeah, that's this guy Youngblood. He's big over in England, I guess. He's a rapper over there. He's neighbors with the Osbournes, so he's
uh,
family friends.
oh, okay.
He's friends with the Osbournes, so they had him come out. Most of the crowd didn't know who he was, but he was unbelievable.
Yeah. And I just like how he says the F word. It sounds a certain way coming from him.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Well, that must have been pretty surreal doing interviews, doing rehearsal, and kind of seeing him, in a backstage type environment, right?
It was. I mean, Sabbath did the rehearsals and Metallica. I didn't see those guys. Most of the super groups when
Mm.
Morello had all those different guys. I saw most of that. Those rehearsals the day before. They were doing rehearsals all week.
What about Steven Tyler? Wasn't he in rehearsals and whatnot?
I couldn't believe when he walked in, like just like a rock star, went up there and friggin' it was unbelievable. I mean,
Mm.
we haven't seen anything from him in like 2 years. He had the vocal issues, and then he comes out. He was amazing.
Yeah, it made me wonder if they're truly gonna if Aerosmith's truly done, or if they can kind of do some unexpected dates. You know?
I think they'll do a few in like Vegas as a residency. That'll be about it.
Mm.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, this must have been a full kind of roller coaster of emotions being able to be a part of the last Ozzy show because you've met him like in meet and greet lines, then you worked with him, interviewed him, got to hang with him, right? So it must have been pretty going down memory lane for you.
It was unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, just I knew I had to go see him one more time. He didn't do a show for like 7 years,
Mm.
pretty much. So I was like, you know what, I got to be there, and it was great. I mean, it was the whole show and just the audience was amazing. Everybody was in a great mood. All the bands that had a tribute, for tribute to him. It was all about Ozzy. They never did. They're all from Birmingham, the Sabbath guys. Ozzy's never done that stadium before, that soccer stadium, Ozzy or Sabbath. So just they went back to their hometown and did that stadium is great.
Well, what's your favorite Black Sabbath or Ozzy song? Because I know you put out a post and it had Miracle Man behind it, and that guitar is just so good. That intro.
That's a good one. I find them on whatever on Instagram. So I'm just like, all right, I'll play music. The thrill of it all is Sabbath
Mm,
on Sabbath, and then probably for maybe the song "Die of a Madman" for Ozzy solo.
okay.
Yeah.
It made me wonder if you could be a fly on the wall, or maybe even partake during a band's heyday. Would you rather be with Black Sabbath or Ozzy or Motley Crue?
Oh, Black Sabbath. It's not even close.
I thought
I
that
mean,
was
I like Motley Crue's okay, but it's not even close.
yeah. Well, since we did bring up Tom Morello, he's actually been in one of my favorite bands. I'm curious what you think of them. I think they're criminally underrated. Audio Slave. Were you ever into Audio Slave or?
I never got into them. I tried a bunch of times. I would put it away, and a year later, I would listen again. I just couldn't get into it for some reason. There's a couple good songs, the hits,
Hmm.
but it was because I'm a huge Rage Against the Machine fan. I was always waiting for it to kick in, and the
Hmm.
songs never kicked in like Rage. They're always kind of slow tempo. Cornell's got a great voice,
Yeah.
but it was always like, come on, come on, come on, just go, go heavy, start screaming, but it never happened. Never. I saw them once live; they were good, but
Uh,
yeah, it's one band, like three songs I like.
that's kind of how I feel about Taylor Swift. I want to get into it. I want to join the party. I just cannot like it.
How can you like any of her songs?
I know. I think I give her a chance. I just can't get into it. It's just not good, in my opinion. You know?
Look, it's pop music for teenage girls, is what it is.
Yeah, that is true.
So I'm not supposed to get it, but
Well,
the hype on her is just insane. The hype.
yeah. Well, I saw Billy Idol a few nights ago. He was playing in Berkeley, and he still has it. Sounds great, and just made me think during the show. As you know, there's like professional songwriters, writing pop songs and stuff. So made me wonder: is there like a formula when it comes to writing certain kind of jokes too, or?
Not really. I just kind of personalize my stuff. It's always stuff that's going on in my life. So I make it personalize it to me. So, that's the way I usually do it. So there's really no formula.
Mm,
Sometimes you just for me, I always want to get to the joke quick. I don't want to make it too wordy.
yeah.
I like set up punch like old school. Here's another joke. Here's another joke. Here's another joke.
Hmm.
I don't like to be too wordy on stage.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of like a routine, I'm sure every now and then you do two shows, early show and a late show. I had the comedian Greg Fitzsimmons on recently, and I asked him like, "What do you do in the green room? What do you kind of do to kill time?" And he said he does a bunch of cocaine. So, what do you like to do in between shows?
No, you just kind of, I usually like to eat between shows,
Mm,
just kind of chill and just go over the set, and just, you just hang out. There's really nothing else you could do. It's just
gotcha.
wait, you just sitting on the bench waiting to get back in the game again. I don't like doing two shows. I mean, obviously we have
Mm,
to, but I just like doing the one. You give all your energy to one, then you got to come back down again and then get back up again.
mm-hmm.
in between. You're not going on for like another hour and a half. So,
Well, you kind of mentioned it there, like waiting to get back into the game, and we're big San Francisco Giants fans, and I had to ask you some Giants questions. I thought it was full circle. I was thinking about it. I went to see me and my dad went to see a That Metal show taping back in 2011 in LA, and we got to do the meet and greet thing after the show and say a little something to you guys. And we remember talking to you about what you think about a young Brandon Belt coming up, and it's crazy how time marches on. Now Brandon Belt's retired, and now we're in the Bryce Eldridge era.
doesn't Bryce Eldridge up at bat look like Brandon Belt, but like 5 inches taller?
Yeah, what is it, like 6'7"? It's crazy.
Me and my son stayed up last night, because the game he didn't get up till about 10 o'clock
Hmm.
Eastern time, and he's got he had a half day today or whatever like that. But and I'm like, he looks like Brandon Belt up there,
Yeah.
but 5 inches taller.
I mean, and he had that big, that deep fly ball. Looked like it was gonna be a home run. He kind of got ripped off a little bit. Welcome to the big leagues. But he looked good overall.
I can't believe he's 20 years old. It's great.
Yeah, it is crazy.
When he was a two-way player, he was also a pitcher too, but
Mm.
they don't want him pitching.
No Otani for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, obviously he's going to be a better hitter than a pitcher, but I don't know how he was as a pitcher. But the Giants took him in the first round. I'm just excited. Hopefully it works out because there's been a lot of guys in the Giants organization that were like, oh, these guys are going to be stars, and they just don't pan out.
Hmm.
To hot, in the minors, but they can't figure it out once they get to the majors. That happens a lot.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. And I did have to ask. I totally forgot. I saw the Giants play the Yankees earlier this year in April. There's a big rain delay in one of the games. Made me wonder, were you there at all? Did you catch any games this year?
I saw him in Pittsburgh when
Oh,
they played
nice.
the Pirates, and I saw him somewhere else. I didn't go to the Yankee game. I don't like going to Yankee Stadium. Those fans are douchebags.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
they're assholes. So I usually don't go. I know the Giants are open. I think in San Francisco next year, the opening weekend against the Yankees.
Yeah, you got to come out for that one.
Yeah, well, I did. I went last year. I took my kid out to the Giants. I saw him somewhere else this summer, but this year too. But yeah, no, we've been out to that park before. It's great. I've been there a bunch of times.
Well, what do you think about Bob Melvin? Were you ever a Kapler guy, or are you more of a Melvin guy, or what's kind of your assessment this far
I
in?
despise Kapler.
That's what I thought.
The worst. He had one lucky year with his, taking the guy batting fourth out in the fifth inning because a righty comes in and he's
Yeah.
a righty, so I got to put a lefty in. For somehow he had that magic that one year with that stuff. I had a bunch of my friends are Phillies fans, and when we got him from the Phillies, he's like, "This guy is the worst. Watch." And he completely petered out after that first year. Yeah, no, I couldn't stand him. I was glad they got rid of him. Melvin, I like an old crusty guy. It
Hmm.
looked like he might even got fired halfway, around the All
Yeah.
Star break or after that because they were playing so bad. Then they got their stuff together, and now they're playing bad again.
I know. It's like, is this just a bad team? Like, I feel like they're just kind of dragging you around, right? Getting your hopes up. It reminds me of the Giants kind of from a few years ago. I feel they were doing this. So,
They went from like a month of getting like 2 hits a game and
yeah.
scoring no runs, 1 run, and then all of a sudden scoring 10 runs a game. And now they're back. I know they scored 7 on Friday night or whatever, or maybe Saturday, but now they're back to 2 hits last night, 1 run the night before. So yeah, they're frustrating. I mean, they got a good nucleus though, but they
Hmm.
could never get it together. They did for a little while, and look, they're still in it, but they're going at Los Angeles this weekend. The Dodgers. I don't see that ending well.
Yeah. I mean, and they could have stole two from him, and they kind of blew that last Saturday night. You know.
Yeah, yeah, I know. So I don't know. It's too bad. But Melvin, Posey loves Melvin, so he's going to stay. I had more of a problem with Pat Burrell, the hitting coach.
Yeah.
When they were hitting for a month, it's like someone's got to go.
Hmm.
I still think he has to go.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this season wraps up, to see what exactly they do in the off season, how it sets a table or not. I don't know.
I don't, every position is pretty much filled now. So I don't know
Yeah.
what they're going to do. What, like maybe add a pitcher or something. But,
Hmm.
and Posey loves Patrick Bailey. And, all these guys, when it doesn't matter anymore, start coming through and padding their stats.
Yeah.
Mike Yastrzemski was famous for that.
Hmm.
You know, he wouldn't be that good. And all of a sudden in September, when they're out of it, he bats like 800, and his stats look good at the end of the year.
Yeah, and I haven't checked his stats, but then he goes over to the Royals and tears it up. He hit like 5 home runs in a month or something.
Yeah, he's still like going 0 for 3, 0 for 4. I still follow him. I like him. He was a good
Yeah,
Giant, but he needed to go.
yeah. Change
But
of
even
scenery.
Bailey, I mean, Bailey was so bad. And then all of a sudden, like the last month, he's been good.
Hmm.
So, all of a sudden, they're going to bring him back. They're going to look at his stats like that wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
He was, they need, Schmidt's going to be good at second base. And then right field is going to be, between Matos and, Drew Gilbert and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of Jung Ho Lee, though.
yeah. Kind of
I
started
think he's
off.
clogging up center field.
And you never know. I mean, the Giants have had so many injuries too. Hopefully they'll keep their options open, and glad we got guys like Drew Gilbert kind of making things happen, making it more exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what they got to do. I mean, did I give up on Jung Ho Lee? I'm not crazy. He's got no power.
Yeah.
He's not a good leadoff hitter. Half the time he can't even get the ball on the infield. And
Hmm.
center field's a big spot. That's a prime position to
Yeah.
have 6 home runs and 40 RBIs and batting like 260.
Hmm.
That's not good stats for a center fielder. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Giants got some work to do. And it's great to have you on again and promote your new special. And just had a couple questions really quick to wrap it up for you. But I just had to let you know every time I go into an Asian market, I see the fish tank things with the fish floating around, and I always tell who I'm with, or I just laugh thinking of you with the fishing pole. So that's one of the greatest pranks I think for me ever.
Yeah, I mean, we just knew like going down and with a hidden camera, so they had no idea what we're doing. Just going in with SpongeBob poles like kids with hats
Yeah.
on, and just going behind the camera. Now we'll catch our own fish. We'll be fine. And they're freaking out. I know it took some balls to do that, but like, fuck it, let's just do it. Whatever,
Yeah.
what happens.
Well, another thing, since we were talking about music too, and speaking of kind of messing with people, I'm sure you've seen him online, the Andrew Dice Clay, where he kind of goes up to people and acts like he knows them or they're looking for him. He's a friend and mentor, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. No, he's great when he does that, just bothering people on the street. The best video is when he's backstage with Billy Joel. Have you ever seen that one?
I don't know if I've seen that. Oh, yes, yes, and he's doing it to him, right?
Yeah, well, he's at Madison Square Garden, backstage when Billy's going to perform. And he's like, "Can you play that song? Like the one I like, just the way we was, just pronounce it right." And then he says another song. He's like, Billy's like, "That's not my song." He's like, "What?" He goes, "That's Barry Manilow's song. That's not my song." And Dic's like, "Oh, okay. You just don't play it once in a while." It's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've seen him do that. He did it with that comedian Adam Ray. I've had him on the show, and he was doing the same thing backstage with other comedians, and that was pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah. No, he lives to just bust balls. It's great.
Have you ever talked music with him? Because I know he plays drums or gone to shows with him, anything like that.
No, but I know, and his kids were in a band for a while too.
Oh, okay.
They were really good too. No, because he likes more like he doesn't like the same heavy shit that I
Hmm.
like. We have different tastes. I mean, he doesn't like Hate Breed like I do.
Well, what would you rather be? Have you ever thought this to yourself? Would you rather be a comedian or a rock star if you had to choose? Because you kind of get
Comedian.
the blend. Okay, because you get to blend both when the stuff you've done, which is cool.
Yeah, the comedian because, I got to deal with 5 personalities and then, the bass player doesn't want to come to practice or whatever. And the lead guitar player gets a new girlfriend. She wants to run the band. There's too much chaos because
Yeah.
musicians, most of them need to be taken care of. They need mommies. So they marry or date these mommies and then they
Mm.
just destroy the band. If you got your shit together, you don't want, you just like, no, we know what we're doing. Stay out of the business. So I'd rather work by myself, make my own decisions and stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Well, I do have to ask one of the final questions. Have you ever received a surreal compliment, maybe from a comedian or maybe from a rock star, someone that likes your material? Anything
Well,
come to mind?
just at the Metallica show, Stallone was there,
Mm.
and I went up to him. I said, "I want to get a picture with him." I got it. I went. I say, "Hey, Sly, can I get a picture? I'm a big fan." He's like, "Sure." And he's like, "I admire your work also." And I was like, "Really?"
Wow,
He goes, "Yeah, I watch." He goes, "I watch the Gutfeld show every night, and I see you on there, and I think you're great on there." I was like, "Oh, wow."
that's pretty cool. That'll
Yeah,
that'll.
he's like, "Man, you're good on your feet. I could never do that stuff." So I was like, "Man, Stallone knows my stuff. Crazy."
Wow, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Well, have you met all your rock and roll heroes? Is everyone anyone that you were like, man, I wish this would happen or it was close and didn't happen? Anything like that? Have you met all of
Um,
Kiss?
what's that?
Have you met all the guys from Kiss? Or I feel like you're into them, right?
Not really, but I
Hmm.
no, I've met Gene a bunch of times. Paul I met once briefly, and then Ace a bunch of times, and Peter Chris I met. But no, I'm not a huge Kiss fan. I get met all the Sabbath guys, met all the Metallica guys, AC/DC, Agnes and Brian Johnson were on that metal
Hmm.
show like season one.
Wow.
So I met those guys, and Brian came back on again. But I met Angus. I would have loved to meet Bon Scott. Um, Jimmy Page would be a good one. Robert
Hmm.
Plant. Never met those guys. Yeah, that's probably about it.
Those are some good names right there.
Yeah, yeah, those are the guys I just haven't run. I went to some like Zeppelin premiere when they came out with Celebration Day.
Oh
I
wow.
guess that movie, and those guys were there, but I couldn't get to them. I would love to have met one of them.
I still pump Celebration Day on when I'm on the treadmill every now and then. That one just gets me pumped every time.
Yeah, and Jimmy Page. We want him to do that metal show, but his publicist came back. He goes, Jimmy doesn't want anything to do with the word metal. He doesn't want to be on a show connected to metal. Like we have all, we've had, Paul Rogers on, the girls from Heart and stuff like that. It's not all
Yeah.
metal, but he didn't want to come on just because of the name, that metal show. But he doesn't do that much press anyway.
Yeah, he seems kind of recluse.
Yeah,
Well, is there any hope? I know people probably ask you all the time, but any progress on that metal show ever coming back or?
no progress.
Gotcha.
Who knows? I mean, sometimes, look, Crank Yankers came back. That show was on Comedy Central
Yeah.
after like 12 years lying dormant. So you never know. But right now, nothing's going on.
Okay. Well, Jim, I got to say, it's great to catch up with you. Everyone's got to check out your new special on YouTube. Can't please them all. And last question here. What else is on the agenda today or tonight? What do you got going on?
Um, I'm trying to think what I got. Yeah. We're going to watch, me and my kid are going to watch the Giants again. And,
Oh, yeah.
that's the Diamondbacks tonight. We want to watch Eldridge again play. We just saw his first at bat. Then he had to go to sleep, like I said. So hopefully we'll watch the whole game tonight. But, we're excited. I told because my kid's 15, I go, you realize he's only 5 years older than you?
Wow, that's crazy to think.
Yeah, that he's 20 years old and stuff. So,
And he,
yeah,
and
that's
he
probably
looks
about
way
it.
older.
He does. I know. So hopefully, he's not he was doing great in the minors. We'll see how he adjusts to the majors, but we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Well, you said Jimmy Page turned down that metal show. Bryce Eldridge turned me down just the other day. So it happens to everybody.
Yeah, he's probably like, let me just get let me get focused being on the majors. I can't have too many distractions and stuff. So I get with that.
Yeah.
Maybe you get him in the off season. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make it. I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, he's just a kid. He's 20 years old. So
Yeah, can't be too hard on him.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, my special is on youtube.com/Jim Florentine comedy.
I'll put some links in the bio, and I'll tag you on Instagram and a teaser clip from this to promote the episode. And
Awesome.
yeah, it's always fun chatting with you. Hopefully, one of these days I'll catch a show and get to say hi in person. So thanks for coming on.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.